Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Blunt Talks. Today, we're going to talk about a couple things you can do to avoid your cannabis carts clogging up. I know a lot of people are smoking carts nowadays, and a big issue is carts getting clogged up or, just getting like dirty and not really sucking good and stuff like that. And there's a few things that you can do to totally avoid that happening. And this is just like my opinion and my preferences and what I've learned, from my experiences smoking carts. I'm not a super big cart guy. I used to be back in the day, before they got like really popular. Now, I mean, I do keep a cart for, like when I'm in the car or when I'm in public and stuff like that. But when I'm home just chilling, my favorite way to smoke is flower. And if you watch my channel, you would probably know that. But I know that a lot of people's favorite way to smoke is via a cart. And today I'm going to give you guys a few tips on, if you're a heavy cart smoker, just some things that you can do or try to avoid doing to avoid your cart clogging up. So before I start talking about how to not have your carts clog up, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button down there at the bottom of the screen. And also, if you're digging this video and my channel, hit that subscribe button. That way you will get a notification whenever I drop a video. And drop a comment and let me know if you got something to add to the discussion. Like, one of the things that I always talk about when I'm talking about carts is I always see a difference with full gram carts and half gram carts. And the reason I say that is because it's probably just like simple mathematics, because it's less oil being sucked through the cart, so sometimes it doesn't have a chance to clog because you're going through the oil faster. But I've had half gram carts that clog too. I do notice that half gram carts clog way less than full gram carts. But usually half gram carts are a lot more expensive, and that's basically all they sell in the dispensaries, at least the ones that I go to in New Jersey. I know that other states have different stuff going on, different regulations, but mostly if you walk into a dispensary in New Jersey, you're gonna get offered a half gram cart. I've even seen 0.3 carts. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. And sometimes they're like $65 for a half gram. So probably you're gonna save money on a whole gram. But if you're in a situation where you can choose between half gram carts and whole gram carts, like for the same price, I would do the half gram carts because they rarely clog. That's just one tip right there. Also, something else you can do, and I know some people don't like hearing this about like the blinkers and all that. I know a lot of people take blinkers, and that's like a big thing with like the younger generation and all that. But that's a main reason why carts are clogging, because you're sucking too much and you're letting too much heat go through the cart and the atomizer, and then it's getting clogged. If you're taking a blinker, basically what's happening is you're telling the cart that it's overheating, and the cart is stopping automatically as like an emergency function when the atomizer gets too hot, and that's what causes the thing to blink. But when you're doing that like all the time, like 3-4 times in a row, that's a lot of oil that's being melted, and it's just not good for the cart. The proper way to smoke a cart is just to take a small hit. You're really not supposed to take extremely big hits like blinkers with your cannabis carts, man. So take smaller hits. Try not to go crazy with the blinkers, and I guarantee that you'll see a difference in how much your cart clogs, or it won't clog as much, or maybe it won't clog at all. Another thing that you can do to avoid your cart clogging is to use the preheat button. Now, I know almost every single battery that I have has a preheat button, so I'm just going to assume that most people that are watching have carts that have a preheat button. If your cart doesn't have one, you should buy a new one, because the preheat button is definitely a good feature for carts. But I know a lot of people that don't use them. I mean, I always use the preheat car. All you gotta do is hit the button twice, and it'll go in the preheat mode. And what it'll do is it'll start heating up the atomizer, and then you don't have to hit the button. You can just start sucking right away, and you'll get vapor. But when you use the preheat button, what you're doing is you're giving the atomizer a chance to preheat, and whatever oil is clogged or causing it to clog, most likely it's going to unclog by itself just from the oil heating up with the preheat function. So if you're having a lot of issues with your carts clogging up and you're not using the preheat function, I definitely recommend using the preheat function, because that most likely a lot of times unclogs your cart. And if your cart's clogged up to the point where that's not working, you can always clean it by hand. I mean, I've actually got in there with bobby pins and all that. So I mean, like I said, guys, if you just avoid taking as many blinkers as you might be, and if you just take proper hits with your cart and use the preheat function, and maybe start getting half grams over whole grams, if that option is cheaper or the same price as a whole cart would be, I would do that, because like I said, man, those are some solid tips. And I'm not even a big cart smoker. I used to be back in the day. I know a lot of people that are big, cannabis cart smokers. Like I said, I like live rosin and live resin. So distillate's not like my favorite thing, but those are really the big carts that are on the market today. Live rosin or resin's really expensive, but when I do find it, I do like to grab it. But I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how to stop your carts from clogging. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget that I'm posting videos every day at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Blunt Talks, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to have a great day, guys. Peace out.